Okay. Fuck. It's a Jojo review. You've seen about it, you've heard about it. You know, honestly, these last few episodes have been very hype. That's the only way to describe it. It's so good. I feel like these are the type of episodes too that it's not just hype, it's not just that you're excited for what's going to happen. They also feel like they have a lot of rewatchability because they're just that good. Like the content itself is that good, but also it's hyping you up for what's going to happen later. So let's get into the episode. So Evil Doppio is going over to Netto, and he's trying to make a deal with him, actually. You know, like, I'll kill you off so you won't have to die in front of Bruno, because they're gonna come up here. They can see that you're still just barely hanging on to life. So if you don't want to die in front of your enemy who killed off all your comrades that you loved so much, I'll kill you off. Just replenish my body with the iron that you stole. And I'm thinking to myself, ooh, is that how he's gonna get away? Is Netto going to turncoat on him? But I knew there was no fucking way Netto was going to give him back his iron. Netto ain't gonna die like a bitch. As a last-ditch effort to kill the boss, he uses the flesh that was flung around, and some of it got on Aerosmith, so he uses his stand on Aerosmith. You know, of course, Narancia is going to act very cautiously about that. So his first reaction is, oh shit, he's trying to use the stand on me, I gotta shoot him. And Netto grabs Doppio, Evil Doppio, puts him in front of his body. So the idea is that he's going down with Netto in this situation. He's like, I'd rather we both die. But the thing is, Netto never actually had to deal with King Crimson's ability. So he just erases the time and the bullets just hit Netto and Evil Doppio gets away. Fighting till the very last breath. I can respect that. But now the problem for Doppio is he's still deficient in iron and he's like crawling away. And of course you have Narancia and Bruno who are coming up to examine the body. So the way he tries to get his energy back is, I guess, he just picks up a frog and just starts gnawing on it. It's disgusting, but yeah, that's one way to do it. Bruno comes up to examine the body. He immediately knows, oh, look at the foot. Look at the foot. The foot was clearly not torn off from Aerosmith, so there must have been another enemy at foot. He was using your Aerosmith to kill off Netto, and he's still here somewhere. I mentioned it a few times before that Jojo usually does not interact outside of, you know, the main characters. You know, you don't see a lot of interactions with the outside world. So I'm looking at this one beach part, and I'm thinking to myself, this is supposed to be a big tourist spot, and there are not a lot of tourists over there. But then we actually get a mention in the episode that there are tourists around. They're just like on the other side of the beach, you know. They're just slightly to the left of where we are. So Bruno gives him direction. He's like, okay, just lower the sensitivity and you'll be able to tell the difference from the animals because it'll be trying to move away from us. And he's able to pinpoint just where Doppio is. They follow the breathing and they find legs hiding behind a rock. And so they both pinpoint the rock. Bruno calls out, you know, I'm gonna attack if you don't come out. And I have no idea what's going to happen because I'm thinking, oh, yeah, he's behind that rock. I knew he was going to use King Crimson to get away somehow, but I just wasn't sure, because I wasn't sure if he really replenished his energy enough yet. And then we cut over, smash cut to Abba, and he's not done finding the memory yet. Moody Blues is still going through the days of June, trying to find the exact date where the photo took place. As soon as they find out the day where the photo took place, Moody Blues is going to turn into the boss, and then they're going to know what he looks like. So he's on the last days of June. So he's very close to finding out. And then, you know, there are some kids coming over. Oh, those darn kids, they're always so meddling. And the kids are kind of playing soccer, and they're kicking the ball towards this side of the beach. I see the kids, and I'm thinking to myself, oh yeah, that's gonna play a part. But then I see the kids a second time. I see the pink hair, and immediately I'm just like, I know right away. That's not a kid. And it's really exciting because like, as the scene continues, you know, you get even closer up to him, and you don't see his face, but you see, you know, how many kids are gonna have that hairstyle. You can see his sweater underneath the jersey. Then we smash cut back to Narancia and Bruno. Bruno like opens up the rock, and it's the kid that he stole the jersey from. He like stitched up his mouth, and he's bleeding out, still alive, but you know, breathing the approximate amount that Doppio would be breathing. I'm gonna just assume that they helped that kid and didn't just leave him there to die. Let's just assume that the kid is safe. Wouldn't the kids notice that there's suddenly this adult who has taken place of your former friend? And like, you know, Doppio was interacting with the kids. It's not like he was just hiding in the background or anything. He was actually helping one of the kids up to like get the ball. And maybe he has a silver tongue. Maybe he like convinced the kids, oh yeah, I'm one of your parents' friends. I want to play too. Oh, let's get the ball, guys. Yeah, Abbacchio goes over to help the kids get the ball. And as soon as he does, Doppio just goes past him. He's like, thank you. Bumps into him and just... Abba gets fucking king crimsoned right in the chest. You see the light leave Abba's eyes as he falls back on the rock. You see his stand start to fucking crack. This is like the moment where it goes to a commercial break, right? But I'm watching it on the computer, so I don't have any commercial breaks. I had to pause the video because I needed a break. I needed to process that Abba was going to die in this episode. I wasn't ready for it. Now, I guess it makes sense to kill off Abba. Because if, you know, if it's not time yet, if it's not time to find the boss yet, then Abba is too much of a problem. You know, the boss is right there. Now, let me say this. Usually in anime, or really in anything, movies, TV shows, all around, they have this way of trying to make a death more dramatic by having it be slower. In this case, Abba dies in basically a second. That's it. And he doesn't have like this super long death speech. You know, he doesn't get to talk to the rest of his team members like, oh, avenge me. But we don't get any of that. And you'd think that would make his death less dramatic or less impactful. You know, it's very hard to do a quick death for a character who is very well loved, well known in this series, and still have it done right. Let me tell you, Jojo did it right. I felt really good about the Abba send-off. I did. So we enter this gray scene, and I'm like assuming, since it's kind of monochrome-esque, that it's like some kind of flashback scene or something. And it takes place with Abba having this conversation with a police officer who's looking through evidence. Now it's a little bit wonky because, you know, why isn't there yellow tape up around him while he's just going through this evidence? Why aren't there other people around in this scene, you know? Abba asks him, what if you don't find the person? Or what's worse, what if you find the person, but they get away with it anyway? What happens when the law fails you? How do you keep motivated? How do you keep going like that? Obviously, referring back to Abba's past, and I like Abba's backstory, honestly. It feels kind of like a Peter Parker type backstory, you know. He takes the wrong road, and he learns that his actions have had consequences. In this scenario, it's directly referring to how he felt when he was a police officer. He felt like it didn't matter what he did, because even when he catches the perp, they end up getting away with it. The money either goes to the law enforcement or it'll go to him, and that's why he was taking the bribes. And the police officer answers him. He basically says, you know, taking shortcuts, it's not the way to go about it. And that's what Abba was doing. He was basically just taking a shortcut. The will to find the truth is what's important. That's what'll keep you motivated. Even if they get away the first time, you gotta have the hope, the will to get them the second time, you know? We'll get them next time, guys. At first I'm thinking that this is a flashback scene, but then the officer kind of comes out of the darkness and I see his face a little bit and I'm like, this isn't a flashback scene. This is a death scene. Abba's on the bus stop to heaven. So the cop he's talking to is actually his friend who got killed because of him. And honestly, I felt like it was really good. Like, if you're gonna have Abba pass away, and you're gonna make it quick like it was, then it's really good to have this death scene where he has to face his past head on. He's able to talk to him again and actually be on good terms with him. But that's not enough. So, everyone else finds Abba's dead body. And of course, Narancia throws a whole fit. That's kind of what he would do. And it feels like all hope is lost type thing. Because, in a way, Doppio kind of won in this situation. He killed off Abba before he could find out his identity. And as far as we know, there are no other leads. They're in the dumpster. And they can't stay here because they know that he's still there somewhere. They don't know what to do. But then, Giorno notices there's this itty-bitty little thing in Abba's right hand. So he turns it into a ladybug, says, go back to where you came from, and he goes back all the way over to the little pillar. As it turns out, right before Abba died, he was able to find the date and turn Moody Blues into Doppio. And although they weren't there to see what Doppio looked like, he used the last of Moody Blue's energy to freaking bust the face into the stone. So now we have an imprint of the boss's face in the stone. We're still in this, baby. We haven't been knocked out of the game just yet. I love that. I love that. Because honestly, I was starting to feel a little bit depressed along with them when I think, you know, oh man, they lost. That sucks. But at the same time, I didn't want Doppio to lose. So I was kind of like conflicted. I was like, ugh, I want Doppio to like win, sort of. But I also want them to win. I got both. And I didn't think that I could have both. And it's good that they have this at the end because it goes to show that Abba's death was not in vain. So can somebody get some lead and piece of paper, just they got like an imprint of the boss's face, but they don't know other features of the boss. They don't know what his crazy pink hair color is, or his eye color, or, you know, the fact that he has freckles. They know the imprint though. Like, they'll probably be able to recognize based on the face, but it's easy to mix people up just based on, like, the form of the face. But regardless, it is still a lead. It's still way better than nothing. Doppio doesn't really know about this yet. Because if Doppio knew about that, you know that he would have covered that up. You know, it's like, oh shit, I gotta destroy this rock. So he's walking away from the beach thinking that he won, but they're gonna get you. It's funny because, you know, I know that because Doppio's the villain, he's probably gonna have to die at the end. That's usually how Jojo ends, you know, they kill off the villain. But I don't want him to. I don't want Team Jojo to lose, but I don't want Doppio to die. So part of me is like hoping, can they reform him? Can they become friends? It's probably not going to happen. There are some shows, some anime where, you know, somebody's got a split personality, and one of those split personalities are evil, so they somehow get rid of the other personality, and then you just got the good guy, and that's how they, like, reform somebody like Doppio. But I'm not sure if JoJo would go that direction or not. You know, they could also, like, make it a sad death when, like, you know, they kill off evil Doppio, and then good Doppio comes out, and he realizes that he has a daughter and everything, and he's like, oh, I was doing bad things. No, I have no idea. I'm just spitballing here, guys. Anyway, you will be happy to know we are almost at 15K. You know what that means. 15K live stream. The Trish cosplay just came in the mail. Just in the nick of time, because I think we're probably going to hit 15K this week or at the beginning of next week. So be sure to come in for that if you want to see me dressed up like Trish. I don't know how the heck I'm going to do her hairstyle. I have a pink wig, but it's going to require a lot of bobby pins. So as usual, thank you guys for watching and supporting me. I will see you next time. Bye!
Program restart.